everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Round Robin, where we spin the wheel, chase the chaos, and see where the conversation lands. I'm your host, Tracy Preston, along with Christine Mulligan, Nina Mulligan, and of course, my husband, Todd Preston. Hey, everyone.
Hello. Howdy, y'all.
Hey, everybody.
Well, all right, everybody. Tonight, we are talking about nightmares. Not just bad dreams. I mean, the kind that wake you up sweating, panicked, confused, or staring into the darkness after trying to convince yourself you're awake. And honestly, once I started looking into this topic, it got way stranger than I expected. Because the history behind nightmares is genuinely creepy. So I was thinking, well, where in the hell does the word nightmare even come from? The word nightmare originally had nothing to do with horses, just in case you were wondering.
I was wondering.
The nightmare.
I guess I just assumed, yeah. Oh, all right.
You assumed it came from a horse?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like a black horse riding into your dreams.
Ah. Well, the mare part actually came from Old Germanic and Old English folklore. Up your alley.
That is up my alley.
Now, a mare was believed to be a dark, supernatural spirit that attacked people while they slept. So, you're on point. So, people described waking up unable to move, pressure on their chest, struggling to breathe, and sensing something evil in the room, which today sounds a lot like sleep paralysis. But hundreds of years ago, people genuinely thought they were being attacked by demons or spirits during the night. Now, has anybody on this call ever had sleep paralysis? Todd, we'll start with you.
I don't believe so. I've had plenty of nightmares, but I don't think I've ever hit, well, on occasion, I guess, maybe, but nothing worth noting, I don't think.
I have not. What about you guys?
I have not.
Christina?
I don't think I don't know. See, this is a hard one. The only real nightmares that I ever really remember kind of came with some sleep paralysis. It was when I was a kid, and it was when I was first learning that I'm a little bit different. And it was a guy that would talk to me, and like I would see him, but I never really saw his face. He was just kind of like, death. He was like this hooded black shadow. But when he would slow his voice, I would only be able to move as fast as his voice. So when he would slow his voice down to a certain thing, it was like I couldn't move. But then he would speed up his voice and he would talk real fast and he would be like yammering at me. And meanwhile, I would be like trying to find the lights in my room because I was a kid at the time. But I was like disoriented, obviously, because I was sleeping. But I was up and about and making a racket, and I'd be trying to find the light. And sometimes I would get the light in time, and sometimes one of my parents would bust in and they'd be like, "What the hell are you doing?" And depending on his speed in which he spoke, I either went frantic like a maniac fast, or I was so slow like gravity was real big that I couldn't move.
Well, sounds like a shadow person. We're actually going to be doing a story this F-Bomb Friday on shadow people. And what Christine just described was a shadow man.
Huh.
All right, well, he followed me all through my childhood, and then my grandmother took me to a drum circle. I'm not joking. I was like 8 or 9 years old. My grandmother took me to a drum circle when I visited her in Florida one time, because at the time I lived in New York. Came down here, visited my grandmother. We did the drum circle thing, and then I didn't hear or see from him again until I was pregnant.
Really?
For the first time, yeah. And then it all came rushing back. And then I was older, and I basically just used Blue's Clues rules to get rid of them. And what I mean by that is, like, Blue's Clues used to have this, like, little sing-songy thing about you could change your dreams, you can make it whatever you want it to be. And they would show, like a dark castle and like gloomy doomy castle, but then it would change into party hats and balloons and stuff. So I really just applied what I learned by watching Blue's Clues with my son. I know how to get rid of him. Is I would just be like, you know, I don't even know why I'm listening to you. You have no power over me. Go away from me. Goodbye. And he did come back a few times throughout, you know, my 20s, because that's when I was busy having babies. And that's what I used to get rid of him, was Blue's Clues rules.
That's awesome.
I love Blue's Clues.
Yeah, that's a good show.
I loved watching
I used to
that.
watch Blue's Clues with my kids.
Blue's Clues rules.
Yeah, just change it. You can do whatever you want.
That's the best. That's exactly it. Took me right back. Took me right back.
Yeah.
So did you have like a nightstand, a bedside table or something that you had a light for, or did you have to get up and get to the door?
No, when I was a kid, my childhood bedroom was actually pretty large. Originally, before I was born, it was the master bedroom. I had two older brothers, so they got the two little rooms in the back of the house. I ended up getting the master bedroom when my parents added on to the house. They added on a whole ensuite, you know, because I was born in the 70s. So in the 70s, en-suites weren't a thing. But by the time the 80s came, en-suites were a thing. So by the time I was this age, I was actually in the older master, I can't say master bedroom anymore, main bedroom. And it was pretty large. So I had my bed over it, but square, you know, like regular room shaped. But my bed was in one corner of the room. And then I had one of those little tiny, like, trampolines in the middle of my room, which I did end up moving because I busted my face really bad one night while I was looking for the light. Like I told you, I was disoriented and I didn't know where I was in my room, and it was dark, and he was talking fast and talking slow and talking fast. Like, he would really know how to toy with me. So I could never seem to find the light switch, but it was a light switch next to the door. Like when you walk in and you put your right hand up and flip the switch, it was there, and it was pretty easy to get to in a square room, you would think, but I could never get to it. I could never get to it.
That's why he was talking to you real fast and real slow. He's like, watch this. He had mind control over you.
I'd say 9 times out of 10 when I used to have those dreams, what stopped it was one of my parents coming in, flipping on the switch and screaming at me. Because, you know, it was the 80s. So we didn't just say, what's going on, sweetie? That wasn't a thing. It was like, what the hell's going on in here? Shut the fuck up. Lay down. You know? So it's like one of those, I was like, oh my God, he was talking to me again. And they'd be like, go to bed. What are you doing?
We don't want to hear this shit, and you're not getting a hug. Get your ass in bed.
Exactly. Exactly.
You gotta love 80s parenting.
Yeah.
Well, that was really good because, you know, it's funny that you brought up like he was a shadow person, because I'm about to talk about that too. So now imagine being an ancient person and not understanding science or REM sleep, which is that rapid eye movements when we dive deep into our sleep. And then suddenly you wake up frozen while seeing shadow figures. And what's wild is almost every culture has its own version. So shadow people, the old hag, nighttime spirits, and demons standing in corners. Different places and time, but the same terrifying descriptions. So do you guys think there is a reason humans all seem to describe the same kinds of nightmare experiences? Or is it just how our brains are wired?
Babe, I'm writing the story this week as we speak. I'm going to have to change stories now because we're going to cover everything.
It's called Pivot.
Sounds like you're ruining my stuff, man.
Tuck and roll.
No,
It's called
well,
tuck
I'm
and
going to
roll.
stick with it.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have more details in this, but it's interesting, so it all ties in, unbeknownst to me.
I think our brains work in a certain manner, in a certain way. We process things alike, no matter in one way, shape, or form, even though we process things at different rates and in different formats from person to person. But I also think that, you know, the whole vibrational thing ties into this. And then, of course, I'm a kook ball, so I think that all things happen all the time, all at once. So different timelines peeking in every once in a while, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's, you know, we're like part of the matrix, so maybe it's just bugs in the system that we're seeing. You know, like I don't not believe it, but I feel also it always happens to people in religious, like all the people that be being possessed are always like religious people. Like I just feel like it ties to like religion, and I think because we tell these crazy ass scary stories to children on the time that they're little, I mean, like I think that does suggest something in your brain. So if you are one of those people that do sleepwalk or sleep talk, or I mean, there are people that my brother used to do it. He went across the street and knocked on the neighbor's door and asked if he could use their toilet at 3:00 in the morning, you know, but he was completely asleep the whole time. But he was also awake. You know what I mean?
Right.
When I was a kid, I would walk my dogs in the middle of the night.
When you were asleep?
Yeah, I'd be sleepwalking. I would put their leashes on. And sometimes not. Sometimes I would just have their leash. But luckily, I've always had dogs my whole life, so they've always been well behaved, and, you know, callback has always been good.
But you know what's crazy is that you're a little on that psychic spectrum, and my brother is schizophrenic. He ended up becoming schizophrenic later in life.
Yeah,
so
same.
The thing is like, I wonder though, the people who tend to be more sensitive to those sorts of things, like sleepwalking to us looks like a medical condition, but perhaps in their frequency, it's like a completely normal day. And you know what I'm saying? Like, we've kind of touched on that before, how like when we look at like the mental diseases of people, if you look at it from a different angle, is it that they're crazy, or is it that they're on another timeline that like we're not aware of, or they do know things because they hyper focus and see patterns the way other people don't? But we think it's crazy because we've decided this is normal.
How many glasses of wine have you drank?
I did too.
See, this is why recording at night is more opportunistic.
But I think all of those things come together. I mean, between our unknown abilities of our own brains, the suggestions of all of the lore and things that we have as human beings, mixed in with the pattern of humanity in itself, I think you're going to have commonalities and stories throughout the history of humans.
Okay, well, I'll put a few more things on that pile of all the things all at once. I think it's perception and perspective of the individual, and what they tell you about their experience will always be tied to where they're from, how they were raised, what kind of programming they had, what they were indoctrinated with, which includes religion.
I can tell you this, I'm not a Christian anymore, and I stopped believing in God. I haven't had a nightmare since.
Oh,
but I had nightmares my whole life.
Oh my goodness, I don't know if that's arable.
I'm just saying. This is how I came to my conclusion. So I don't know.
Maybe.
Because there's the question of good and evil in Christianity. So when you eliminate that and you look at it from a humanity perspective and a universe perspective, then the outcome is always going to be good. Do you know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, whatever you do to set forth in the world is trying to make it better. So your outcome is always going to be better.
Oh, wow.
Because you're not thinking about the negatives. You're only focusing on the positive and serving other people.
Hey, Trace, what did I do to her?
You made her toss religion.
I need more wine.
Yep. All right, hon, what did you have on that?
Well, I think back to your original question about so many people have seen humanoid shapes, you know, over time and over different cultures. It all goes back to imagination. And one thing that people don't share is imagination. That's something that is subjective to every individual. But one thing, the commonality is we can all recognize the shape of a human being. We can all do that, and we have since the beginning of humans. That's something that's common. And when you think of something bad, you usually think of a bad man. A bad man. That's something that can transcend imagination, cultures, and time. So that's why our brain tells us that we just saw a bad man in the corner. Or just out of sight, you know.
Right. All good points.
Yeah.
Love it. I knew this was going to stimulate some good combo. Love it. Now, medieval people did not view dreams as random nonsense. They believed dreams carried meaning, and nightmares specifically were often viewed as warnings, curses, demonic attacks, witchcraft, or messages from God. People believed sleep left the soul vulnerable, which honestly makes bedtime sound stressful. Who wants to go to bed? Now, some people slept with crosses, iron objects, herbs, charms, religious relics, even knives under the bed for protection. That makes me wonder how many people got killed in their sleep. Spouses. Whack. And if somebody had repeated nightmares, people sometimes believed they were cursed or spiritually targeted. So imagine living in medieval times for just a second. No electricity, so you can't trip over your trampoline to get to the light switch. No medicine and plague everywhere. And now you think demons are climbing on your chest while you sleep. Would you guys have been superstitious back then?
Oh, I think so.
Ditto.
Well, again,
Yeah.
that's a religion still. That's what they believed, that it was demons.
That's right. Full circle back to Nina.
Yeah.
She's got a good point.
I mean, but I don't pigeonhole it just to religion. I pigeonhole it to your perspective at large. It's whatever you've been indoctrinated with, whatever beliefs you hold, that's how you will translate what you actually may have seen. Because shout out to what Doug's what Doug? Oh my goodness.
Who's Doug?
Oh my God. Do I need to put a tracker on your phone?
Shout out to what Todd is going to talk more about on Friday, F-bomb. It's how I translated what I saw. But if I was someone else, you know, I was raised Irish Catholic and I was growing up in the city. So it was a little bit of mishmash, everything. What was the boogeyman, you know? It was also back in the Candyman days. So there were a lot of urban legends, you know?
True.
So I was a kid indoctrinated with very, very many urban legends. So it was how I portrayed the shadow man, the shadow spirit, whatever you want to call it. But if I was, I don't know, in a tribe in New Guinea back in 1800s, maybe I would call it a chupacabra instead. And it would have fangs, you know what I mean? Because that's what I would have portrayed as scary,
Right.
you know?
Right.
I don't know. So I don't want to just pigeonhole to religion and admonish anyone's religious beliefs because that's not fair to do.
Right.
To each their own. I think it's just perspective at large. It's indoctrination at large. It's whatever you can assimilate it to. Just because you assimilate something to something and you can describe it to the T because your assimilation and your imagination is miraculous, just like the rest of the brain.
All
You
right.
can prescribe any details that you want it to that are familiar to you. But that same, it's much like, you know how they talk about the aliens and they all have the same kind of pictures, the masks or, I don't know, certain animals that look the same, those little troll figurines that are in all different places in the world from the same time period before we had locomotion. You know what I mean? Before we could get to any of these other places, these ancient people were depicting the same model of something, but it was slightly different. That's something reminiscent of the location that it was in.
Makes sense.
You know, so it was about perspective, but it was probably the same boogeyman, whatever it was, or the same alien, whatever you want to think that it was.
Or, right, back in ancient times when you don't understand disease and mental illness and sleep disorders, supernatural explanations back then made total sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Now, scientifically, nightmares are strongly tied to REM sleep. That's when the brain becomes highly emotionally active. So stress, trauma, grief, anxiety, medications, illness, lack of sleep, all of that can create, and increase nightmares. And what fascinated me most is that the brain processes emotionally, symbolically during dreams, which is why dreams make absolutely no logical sense. Your brain basically creates emotional chaos theater. One minute you're at school, then your teeth fall out, then suddenly you're being chased through Target by a giant bird while your ex silently judges you from across the frozen food aisle.
Okay, but really, I mean, there's a really fine, blurry line from nightmares to hallucinations, the way you describe it.
It's right. It's so weird because in our mind, like, you know you're home, but it's not your home. Looks completely different. You know how stuff is just all over the place, but in your brain it makes sense.
Yeah. That's how the human brain works. It fills in the gaps. It's like...
And it's firing really fast.
It's like when my eyes started to go, and I started to lose my perfect 20/20 vision, I didn't notice it. And then when it finally was to the point where I couldn't deny it anymore, it seemed like it was all of a sudden. But my mind was filling in the blanks. You know what you're supposed to be seeing, so my brain was telling me what I was seeing was there. So now, that's what the human brain does. Your mind tells you what's supposed to be there. So when you don't really see it, your brain says, you saw it. It's there.
Yeah, poof.
It substitutes it and puts your perspective spin on it.
Right. Now,
it's just like those tests when they give you those reading tests and then they start taking away letters, but you could still read everything that it is, even though it doesn't have all the letters. Or as long as the word starts with the correct letter, your brain will assume the rest. Even though it's like SGWXY, you'll be like, stump.
Right. And how many times do you read, those little tests that you get, like people put those out on Facebook and stuff, and you read it, but because your mind says this is what it is, and then when you go back and you reread it, you're like, oh my God, that's not what it said at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Love it. Now, recurring nightmares are especially interesting. Psychologists believe recurring nightmares may happen because the brain keeps revisiting unresolved emotional stress. It's almost like your brain keeps reopening the same emotional file over and over and over. And recurring nightmares tend to fall into these universal categories. Being chased, check. Falling, losing teeth, check again. Being trapped, being unable to scream, third check. Showing up unprepared or trying to run and not being able to move. I've got half of those.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't hear, fighting.
Nope, that's not universal. Maybe just in your brain.
That's my reoccurring dream.
You like to fight?
Well, here's the cool thing. Well, kind of cool. I've had the same reoccurring dream since I was young. And because I like the medieval stuff, I'm sure that's why it tied into my nightmare, but I was always equipped with armor and had a sword. But I've had this dream for as long as I can remember of fighting the undead in the dead of winter. Now, years have gone by. I was not dreaming about something that was going to happen in my particular life. I was dreaming about the Game of Thrones movie, the show that came out.
Prophetic.
Because once I saw these battle scenes of fighting the undead in the winter, I was like, I have predicted this movie.
Done it.
This show.
I already did it. This is boring. Now, most modern sleep researchers believe teeth falling out dreams are usually a mix of stress, emotional vulnerability, anxiety, and subconscious processing. Basically, your brain is taking emotional instability and turning it into physical instability. And that's probably why the dream is so upsetting. I don't know about you guys. Have you guys never had dreams where your teeth are falling out?
No.
Really?
It is a sign also that you're pregnant. If you dream of your teeth that are falling out, it could mean that you're pregnant. That's an old wives' tale. I have never had them falling out, but I have had them where they have
like I bit down and then they started to crack and then fall out.
Wow.
Like they started to crumble. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had them where, and I don't know, and I also had a dream book, so I used to like have such vivid dreams. I would get up and I'm like, okay, what was it that I saw? Okay, a broken toilet, my tooth was falling out. But when my teeth fall out, it's not like they're just dropping out. It's kind of like you, Nina, like maybe I'm eating something or talking, and all of a sudden, you know how, remember what it felt like when you were losing your baby teeth and then like half of the, like either the front part or the back part came loose, and then when you'd wiggle it around, you'd get poked with the sharp part of your tooth. Well, it was like that. And I'm like, oh my God, my tooth is falling out, my tooth. And I'm constantly cramming it back in. So my dream is it trying to come out. I shove it back in and I'm like, okay, I got it. And then it comes back out again. I'm like, no. I have issues with teeth.
I love like looking that stuff up too. Like if I remember my dreams at this point now, because I really don't have it anymore. I'll look it up and I'll, like see certain things, and I do like it for that. And I think those interpretations of dreams are probably the most accurate. I mean, indigenous people have been interpreting dreams now for centuries, and there's a lot of symbolism in those things. And I think that modern day psychology has been able to, through probably, I guess, statistics or something, they do studies and can see a pattern. Okay, when this person was dreaming about this specific thing, they were personally going through this, and then they found, a commonality among all of that. So I think like the psychology behind it's really cool.
I do too. And for example, a reoccurring nightmare doesn't mean prophecy or doom. It usually means your brain is stressed out. But trauma nightmares are totally different. And this is where my heart breaks for people with PTSD, because they relive their emotional tears repeatedly through recurring dreams. And those nightmares can just feel horribly real. Okay, now this is where nightmares start drifting away from psychology and into territory that honestly makes people uncomfortable. Because one of the strangest things researchers have noticed is this: people across completely different cultures, across centuries, describe extremely similar nightmare experiences. Not identical stories, but identical feeling, and sometimes identical figures, like what Christine was talking about, and what you're going to talk about with the shadow man or the shadow figure. So people who have never met from different countries, religions, and time periods repeatedly describe shadow figures standing in the corner, something sitting on their chest — I've never had that, thank God — being unable to move, dark humanoid shapes, glowing eyes, whispers, figures at the foot of the bed, or a presence watching them while they sleep. And these stories existed long before the internet. And that's where it gets a little weird. I've never had, shadows. I think that's just the nighttime.
Yeah.
You wake up and you're like, or you hear something and your brain starts seeing stuff. I've had that. But I haven't had any the other stuff. And if something was seen at the foot of my bed, I would lose my shit. No, thank you. So let me ask all of you guys this. Why do you think human beings keep describing the same terrifying things over and over? Clearly, none of us on this call have ever had any of those. Have we?
No, I think it's because they have to face something. I think those dream interpretation things and all of that, I think all of that has some breath, because like Nina said, like old wives' tales, I'm a big believer in history. You gotta know your history, know your future, right? All the history, not just what they tell you on the surface, but all the history everywhere. That's why like Todd goes into the Viking background, because he wants to know more about that heritage, because it'll help him frame how he feels inside and what he thinks, how he carries himself. All of that goes into the psyche in general. And if really you want to know what most people believed before Christianity, then you have to go to paganism. So if you look at paganism, you'll probably find a lot of similarities of people, and it may not have been called paganism everywhere. It might have had its own name, but
honoring the tradition of the earth and the spirit life and all of those things that come along with that.
The Celtic and the
The
Viking.
Celtic, they were very pagan. You know, that was their whole system. So they have
Well,
their,
take religion out of it altogether. Just nature in and of itself.
yeah.
You know, what the earth shows us.
Well, that was their religion, though.
Yeah,
Sure.
I hear it. But sometimes people won't fully absorb that because it's still religion tied. And,
I get it.
you know,
Okay.
you know, these are attack people's religion.
I'm not attacking them. I'm just saying that that was part of the religion, was the earth, and they got a lot of their inspiration and their medicines and their, you know, things like that from the earth. So it may be that there's similarities across because of that.
What happened to you?
She's staring at me like, you should shut up now. So I was trying to finish and wrap up, but then I got consumed with staring at her face.
Dumbfounded.
Yeah.
She was like, with that. Okay. I was not staring her down to shut up. I just
You
listened
should have seen it.
and I was thinking to myself, you're totally off topic. But I was like, you know what? That's the point of this. So what else?
It's a real dream. It's like a real dream. All right, now, scientifically, sleep researchers say there's a logical explanation. The human brain is wired similarly. And when the brain partially wakes during REM sleep, especially during sleep paralysis, the fear center of the brain activates before rational thinking fully kicks in. So the brain tries to explain the terror. And because humans are pattern-seeking creatures, our minds create intruder hallucinations, meaning your brain literally invents a threatening presence to match the fear response your body's already feeling. And I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah, you basically just intelligibly said what we have all been saying this whole Yammerfest.
I pieced together the yammer.
You manifest your own demons based on a fear response.
Yeah, it's all your own perspective.
That's right.
And you invent what you can understand and comprehend. And the reason why we have S11 Fridays is the wild thing is it's possible that it ain't nothing that you thought it was at all. It was the boogeyman.
Hey, I did not have sleep paralysis, but there's no way in hell I was getting my feet anywhere off this bed.
That's right. I'm not putting my feet on the floor.
And if I had to get up in the middle of the night, there was a long leap to and fro to the bed.
Why do you think we all did that? Like everyone I've ever spoken to that conversation comes up, they're like, oh yeah, no, I jumped away from the bed when I had to get off in the middle
Yeah.
of the night.
Because it's the unknown and there's space under there.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's going to be a hand that grabs you. I mean, how many movies, and still to this day, when I watch a scary movie, which I do all the time, I'm like, do not put your head down there and look under the bed.
Why?
It gets me
Why are
really
you looking
intense.
Well, that's why the last thing I say on F-Bomb Friday is, and you might want to check under your bed.
Hell no, I'm not checking under the bed. You couldn't pay me to put my head down and look under the bed. Either you're going to see feet, an old hag, or when you get up, someone's standing there.
Right?
Without fail.
I am pretty sure there's something under there, so much so that if I wasn't the age that I was, I'd put my mattress on the floor. Okay? But I can't get up from that position every time I need to get up. I'm just,
Not these
my
days.
joints don't work like that anymore.
That's right.
I honestly am not afraid of underneath my bed, but I go under there so often because there's always dog toys that need to be rescued.
Yeah, but not in the middle of the night.
Not
when
in the
it's
middle of the
dark.
night, you
Yeah.
don't.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
I absolutely do. Are you kidding me? Yes, I do.
So
I don't have that fear anymore.
So
I
I'm-
do remember jumping off my bed as a kid, but I do not have that fear anymore. And probably because
Well, I have dogs now, yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't have that feel so much because I know that they would
if
totally
there was something
chew
under
them up.
the bed, we would know.
But there's sometimes they bark at behind the door in the corner. I swear to God, there's something back there.
oh yeah.
There's somebody that's standing in the corner of our room because
Already gave me
people
the
always go
shivers.
back there, and now Coconut goes back there and she starts barking her ass off.
And they close the door. They
Yeah.
close the door with their snouts. They don't ever pay attention to opening or closing doors anywhere, but they will go into the corner. They'll like growl a little bit, and then they'll take their faces and close the door and then start barking in the corner.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Well, imagine this, Christine. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and you know the dogs are sleeping, and then you hear one of those dog toys squeaking underneath your bed.
Are you going to go get it then?
Yeah, I totally would. But I'm a little...
Got balls of steel.
She wants. Today's ready. She's like, bet.
Yay, wishing I'm going to have some
She's like, do it, lady.
I think, Nina, you got to set her up
Yeah.
when she least
Oh my
expects
God.
it. See if she's really going to get down there.
Yeah, no, I totally would. Sometimes I look, and it turns out to be one of my dogs, but I'll hear some sound sometimes, and I'll go towards the sound. I'm that dumbass. I'm that dumbass, yeah. I am what a lot of my melaninely blessed friends will say, I am that white chick. Where my friend would be like, get the fuck out of here, and they're gone. Like, they're gone. I turn around and be like, you heard that? They're gone. There's nobody to ask if they heard anything, because they heard it, and they're gone. I'm like, oh, let's go check it out.
Now, I'll stand behind you. I'll let you go first.
Well,
That's true.
this is a little bit off topic, but still kind of connected. But we've noticed, like in all these scary movies that we watch, you know, where there's a murderer or there's a ghost or something in the house, nobody ever turns the fucking light on.
I hate that.
You're in the dark. You're going to.
You're searching.
You're trying to escape, or you're trying to find out where this bad person or creature is at. You're not going to turn the light on?
I don't understand it.
I don't know, sometimes now,
The electromagnetic field associated with such spirits would disconnect the power automatically.
where the hell did you go? Slow down on that wine.
This is the dumbest show ever.
What just happened? I was going to say, that's not totally true, because it depends on where you're at and how big of a space you're in. Because my eyes adjust well to the dark. And the thing is if you turn a light on and you're in the wrong room, they now know what room you're in.
I don't care what that rationale says to anybody. No. Every light's going
I
on.
would rather keep the lights off and be equally ready.
You're going to slip under the bed and wait for him to walk by.
I'm the monster under the
And I
bed.
feel like you need the darkness in order to see the contrast. If you turn the light on, then you won't see him coming. Then you're totally dead.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a ghost. Now, if it's an axe murderer, I'm like,
No.
why are you bothering to care about the light or be in the house? Just rob the motherfucking door.
If it's a ghost, they got me, whether the light's on or not. But if it's an axe murderer and they're in the dark and I turn the light on,
Yeah, no.
I temporarily blind myself. I'm a ghost.
Yeah, no. I get that. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm temporarily blind.
How about you just
And
go
then you're
out the
dead.
front door? Just leave out the front door.
No, because I stay waiting.
That's dumb.
I stay waiting. I will get them before they get me.
Christine's like, oh, you think you're scary?
You didn't see nothing yet. I mean, you thought a look was scary? Nah. All right, now, nightmares are one of the few experiences shared by every human civilization in history. Ancient people feared them, medieval cultures spiritualized them, and science studies them. And even now, there are still dreams so vivid and disturbing that they stay with us long after we wake up. Because maybe nightmares are more than fear. Maybe it's just stress, memory, trauma, anxiety, or emotion trying to process itself in the dark. Or maybe they're proof that even while sleeping, the human mind never truly rests. Honestly, I think that's the creepiest part of all. It never stops, and there's so much of the brain we don't even know.
You know what makes me mad? Is I have a lot of dreams about working. They're not bad dreams. They're not good dreams. It's just me working, and it's like I wake up and it's like, man, I can't even get a break while I'm sleeping.
What's it all mean, Basil? Work all day, work all night. Work.
I kind of feel like I should be getting paid.
Doing something so you learn the lesson.
There you go. figure out a way not to work. All right. Well, that was fun. I knew it was going to be a good conversation. So it's that time of the show. We're going to move on to our Woman of the Week. And I got a good one. Tonight's Woman of the Week is the incredible Mary Shelley.
Yay!
Mm-hmm. Now, as we all know, she is the author of Frankenstein, one of the most influential horror novels ever written. And what's fascinating is that Frankenstein was inspired by a nightmare. In 1816, during a gathering with Lord Byron and other writers, everyone challenged each other to create ghost stories. Mary later described having a vivid waking nightmare about a scientist creating life from the dead. That terrifying image stayed with her and became Frankenstein. And she wrote it when she was only 18 years old. I knew she was young. I forgot how young, though. And that's unbelievable. But Mary Shelley didn't just help shape horror literature. She helped create modern science fiction itself. Her work explored morality, grief, isolation, scientific ambition, and what happens when humans push too far. And you know, there's something else about Mary Shelley that I think our listeners should know, because most people only know her as the woman who wrote Frankenstein. So I might have a little tidbit extra for you. Her actual life was unbelievably tragic and fascinating. So Mary Shelley was born into intellectual royalty. Her mother was Mary Wollstonecraft, one of the earliest and most influential advocates for women's rights in history. How about that? She wrote A Vindication of the Rights of Women in 1792, which was radically ahead of its time. But here's the heartbreaking part. Mary Wollstonecraft died just days after giving birth to Mary Shelley. So Mary grew up carrying this almost mythic shadow around her entire life. And Mary Shelley's life was filled with loss. She lost multiple children as babies and young children. One of her daughters died before her first birthday. Another child died at just 3 years old. And historians believe that grief deeply shaped Frankenstein, because at its core, Frankenstein isn't really just a monster story. It's a story about loss, creation, guilt, loneliness, abandonment, and humans trying desperately to reverse death. And when you realize Mary Shelley was surrounded by death and grief while writing it, the book changes completely. And there's also something wildly modern about her. People often call Frankenstein the first true science fiction novel because she asked a question that still terrifies us today. Just because humans can do something, should they? That's the entire heart of modern science fiction. Artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, cloning, human enhancement. Mary Shelley was exploring ethical, scientific boundaries over 200 years ago, and that's incredible. And one more thing most people don't realize. When Frankenstein was first published in 1818, it was anonymous. Many readers assumed a man had written it because people struggled to believe a young woman could create something so philosophical, dark, and intellectually complex. And honestly, that says a lot about the world she lived in.
She lived in?
Right now. Now, tonight we honor Mary Shelley, not only for the stories she created, but for proving that imagination, intelligence, and fearless creativity can echo across centuries. Her voice still lives every time we ask what it truly means to be human and what monsters we create when we forget humanity.
I love Frankenstein. I love that story.
I've never read the book, to be honest.
I have.
Have you guys read it?
Silly rabbit.
What?
Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids.
Oh my God, tricks are for kids. What? Ow.
Have you guys ever read Frankenstein was the question?
I know, and I said silly rabbit. No, of course I haven't. I grew up watching the damn movie. Why would I read it?
Well, the newest Frankenstein is really good.
Yeah, it explores
Both sides.
both sides. The story from the monster's perspective, which has never been done before, and it's really cool.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the new Frankenstein movie? It's 2 movies.
Yes. Yeah, we watched it.
Oh, I must have fallen asleep.
Well, what do you say we get into our round robin recommendations? So as a reminder, our scale is a spin scale. 1 spin, only if you're bored. 2, background noise. 3, solid watch. 4, highly recommend. And 5, drop everything and spin immediately. Who's up?
Okay, I'll go. We're recommending Send Help. We watched it on, what did we watch it on? Hulu. We watched it on Hulu, and it is about a woman and her overbearing boss become stranded on a desert island after a plane crash. That's the setup. So the movie starts out where they show you some of the office dynamics, and then they go on a trip, a business trip, and accidents happen. And they're stranded on the island, and
It's a dark comedy.
it's a dark comedy. And I liked actually the way they kind of cheesily did like 3D effects almost. Like if this movie was in 3D, which maybe they were banking on, it would have had some really good jump scare moments where you're like, oh. So there was some of that in it, a little bit of the gore, like hyper gore kind of stuff. So that was kind of funny to me, and some people would really enjoy that, I'm sure.
I would.
And, yeah, like you. It is a great movie. I'm going to give it a 5.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 5.
I laughed my ass off.
We laughed, we jump scared, we winced. It's got all the things. It's got all the things. I would give it a 5. It's really good. It's called Send Help.
Send Help on Hulu.
Dark comedy.
I'm
That's what
in.
it is.
I am totally in.
Horror.
Dark comedy horror. That's what the genre is.
Huh.
People did.
Interesting. Okay.
It was funny. It was like, there were some moments. It was good. It definitely gets 5 spins.
Sweet. I can't wait to watch it. All
That's
right.
our first 5 spins since we've been doing this whole thing.
It sure is.
Yeah, 5 spins. It was
That
great.
says a lot.
Oh, and the Cat Williams section of Kevin Hart roast.
Oh,
Must watch. 5 spins. I have never laughed so hard in my life.
Oh my God, that was so good. How I fell off the bed.
That's what Christine was saying earlier today when we were talking. All right. And Kevin, and that's on Netflix.
Correct.
Awesome. All right, hon, hit it.
Okay, my recommendation is Domestic Disturbance. We watched this on Friday night. It's a 2001 thriller, and I think we were a little shocked that it was 25 years old.
So old.
But it stars John Travolta, and he plays the ex-husband, and his ex-wife is Susan, played by Terry Polo. We might remember her. She was the wife in Meet the Fockers, so she's Ben Stiller's wife. And she does a great job in this movie as well. And then the villain of the movie is Vince Vaughn, and he plays an excellent bad guy in everything I've seen him in. And the fact that he's 6'5" makes him very intimidating. But he plays the new stepfather.
Who's very bad.
So this lady Terry, she remarries, and they have a son who has a hard time dealing with the new marriage taking place and having a stepfather. He's very close with John Travolta's character as the father, and he has a history of lying, and he witnesses something that is very disturbing about his new stepfather, and nobody believes him except for John Travolta. And they finally get to the bottom of it, and again, this movie is a little dated. You'll notice, the very large computer monitors and the lack of cell phone usage for sure, because we were like, why aren't they just grab their cell phone? Well, they didn't have cell phones. Well, they did, but it just wasn't as in wide use as it is today. But very interesting movie, a great plot, and some twists and turns. It also has another actor in it, Steve Buscemi, who I love in everything I've seen of it. And he's creepy, and he's funny, and he's kooky, and he plays that role in this movie as well. I would give it a 3.25 to 3.5, only because of it being a dated movie. I think if this movie was done today, it would probably draw in a larger audience, larger interest for sure. But still, great movie.
Yeah.
Nice, suspenseful, and it checks all the boxes for thriller.
Yeah, and you know it's old because Vince Vaughn and John Travolta look really young.
Yeah.
They look like and Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
So it was a good one. And then I've got one I'm going to wrap it up with, and it fits tonight. It's called The Nightmare. And it's a 2015 documentary, and it's currently streaming on Amazon Prime Video. And of course, you can rent to buy and all that good fun stuff on Amazon and Apple TV. Now, this documentary is directed by Rodney Asher, who also directed Room 237. And this one is about sleep paralysis. And it follows 8 people who describe terrifying experiences where they wake up and they're unable to move, unable to speak, and often feel like something is in the room with them, and that's terrifying. Now, this isn't a celebrity-driven documentary because the stars are real people telling their stories with cinematic recreations that make it feel almost like a horror movie. And that's what makes it work for this episode. It connects directly to the shared nightmare idea of shadow people, old hag experiences, chest pressure, and that terrifying feeling that someone is watching you. And I'm going to give it a 4 spins. So until next time, keep spinning, keep questioning, and maybe tonight, leave a light on. So thank you, everyone. We appreciate you listening as always. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends about this amazing show. So thanks, everyone, and we will see you all back on Friday for F-Bomb. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.
See you later, alligator.
Adios.
Adios. We're back to our scheduled sign-off. Bye, everyone.